After spending a couple of weeks at Knysna and Anchor, it was finally time for us to move on again, and our next port of call would be Simonstown, about 300 nautical miles away. There was a decent weather window, and we left late afternoon to coincide with the high tide again, leaving the heads on with light winds. So we hoisted the main, lifted the anchor a couple of minutes later, and off we went for another sailing adventure. Since we left in the late afternoon, it was only a couple of hours before we were sailing in the dark, and we unfortunately didn't have a lot of footage from our first day and a half, as there was some trouble with the camera. But we passed Cape Agulhas, the most southern tip of Africa, in the early mornings of the second day, and a couple of hours later at night we had the camera back up working again, and we could show you the rest of our trip. We had light winds and a lack of sail before this, but it did pick up a little bit later. Here you can see we're just off Danger Point. We've left Knysna, sailed quite a bit, but we're just about at Cape Town. A little bit foggy, or rather rainy weather, so I did most of my sailing from inside, with the wind vane doing most of the work. The wind was quite nice, just the weather not so much. It was very cold night watches as we crossed Cape Agulhas as well. We were quite far off, so had a lot of ship traffic to look out for. A long night. See how much water came in even with the top hatch closed. There's like a slight drizzle, lots of moisture in the air as well. It's not too bad when you've got the autopilot working. You can basically sit inside quite comfortably. I brought in avionics and was following our track quite regularly, popping my head out every now and then just to check for ships and boats hanging around.
Tommy is giving the wind vane off a bit. Mr. Lee's been working too hard. And Tommy says now he'll run it. We're currently on our way from Knysna to Table Falls Bay, Simonstown. These are the mountains being climbed by Hermanus. See the wind blowing. This morning earlier it was a bit of rain, but now at least it's not raining. How far are you still going to go, Tommy? 41 nautical miles to Simonstown. 17 nautical miles to our turning point at Betty's Bay. Currently speed over ground 4.8, 4.5, 6. I've seen 8 knots there as well. Surfing down the waves, I think. Speed there 5 knots.
In a dark just after sunset. Luckily the sunset's low here, late here. Out op beginning is got sakkie ready. minute of calm here, it feels like. Hopefully it stays this way. Lekker komen het al een lichtje. So we arrived in Simonstown just after sunset, about 12 hours earlier than we expected, and instead of going onto our assigned mooring, we decided to just spend the night at anchor across from the beach. Even though it was a lee shore, the wind wasn't blowing that strong anymore at night, so we just kept a good anchor watch, and then we went into False Bay Yacht Club the next morning, where we spent the next couple of weeks. We spent quite a bit of time in Simonstown, did a couple of boat projects, but I'll get into all of that in the next episode. As for exploring, I went around to go see the penguins one day, and also up to a waterfall which didn't have any water. See you, Bill. Zijn fucking warm. Fucking lovely.
Some waterfall this is. Maybe it's better after some rain.
Get the nap done.
It was quite relaxing and some good views of the harbor from above, which was nice. But eventually I got tired of the scenery and headed down for a quick beer.